Welcome to Guitar at Home with Remy, part 2 of our Bias FX review, discussion, whatever you want to call it. So first I want to make a correction. I had the pricing wrong in video number 1. I was thinking that the Bias head was significantly more expensive than it really is. So that out of the way, pricing. It's the main reason for something like this. It is the main reason I use it. It's the main reason I think most people use it. I think it's one of the main benefits. An audio interface, $100, $150 for a normal unit. That doesn't get you a 5-input studio system, but it'll get you a 2-input unit. That'll certainly get my Scarlett Solo. I think I paid $120, including tax. So call it $100. There's certainly plenty of them available used. There's plenty of them available for $100. So then add the software. It's about $175 if you pick it up on sale. It's about $75 if you buy the non-pro Bias FX, if you just get the standard model. Certainly that works. It doesn't have any issues. You get fewer pedals, honestly, and for me, the pedal selection was the primary motivation. I had plenty of amps that I liked. I had plenty of playing around I could do, but each pedal is worth a lot of money. I mean, think about it. A decent pedal, $100 minimum, $200 easy, $300 for some of them. Some of the pedals they've got emulated in there are vintage, and if you can even find one, they're worth significantly more than that. So you got to add it all up and say, what am I actually going to use? What am I going to try out? And how much is that worth? For me, playing here at the house, I'm not looking to have the absolute perfect emulation. It doesn't have to be indistinguishable from what it's pretending to be. It just has to sound good. I have to be able to dial in a sound that I'm happy with. And more than capable. So we're $300, call it, with some chords and taxes. So by running this, I can run it through full spectrum speakers and emulate whatever cabinet I want, tweak that amp setting a little bit, tweak the pedals a little bit. Huge variety. Can customize my tone however I want for minimal cost. I'm not constantly, okay, I want to try this pedal, let me go buy that one, return this one, trading things on reverb constantly. If I want to try out all this stuff in physical hardware, I mean, some of the amps, thousands of dollars, easy. I mean, you can download amp profiles that it's a $5,000 amp. If you can find one, boom, it's right there, you're set. You can just try it out. If you really like it, absolutely, go buy one. This is not a replacement for having the hardware if the hardware is what you want. But it sure lets you try it out first. It sure lets you go, is that the sound I like? Is that gonna be a better fit for me? So the other thing I wanted to mention that wasn't super clear in my first video, the dual signal chain. If you have 2 amps set up, you can put pedals in there. You can pedals before, pedals after. You can extend that signal chain outward. I'll throw it up in an overlay real quick. You can pack in as many pedals as you want. I haven't found a limit yet. I haven't looked, honestly, because I haven't run into a problem. It's not like some of the digital systems where there's strict limitations on how many blocks you've got, for example, how many items you can fit into that chain. Goofing around, I've had signal chains where I had to scroll over and couldn't see the amps. There were that many devices on one side or the other. The amps were off the screen. Other than that, I honestly think it is too good a bargain to pass up. If you play at home and you have a computer or you have an iPad, you need one. You need this software. You need to get an audio interface, if only as a way to try out different things before you go and invest money in the hardware. The other big advantage for me, space. I'm the kind of guy that I will wind up collecting almost as many as I can. If it's another amp, another speaker cabinet, because sometimes I want that noise. I want that kind of sound. I want that feel. And it doesn't matter what the hobby is for me. That's just how I am. And having the option to get those sounds without having to store the equipment, without having it clutter up the space, that's awesome. It really is. I can pick and choose what equipment I want to physically own and what equipment I'm okay with it being digital. And I've looked at things like getting a Helix, and I'm sure I'm going to. Helix is on my list, probably for Christmas, to be honest. That'll be a Christmas present to myself. And same motivation. Small piece of equipment, relatively speaking, fills many functions, many different tones, and cost for what you're getting, very reasonable. But think about that. $1,500 for a Helix versus $300. I'd have both, and I plan to have both. And I'm probably going to buy bias amp too. I want to mess around with some of those sounds. I want to try out what happens when I do this, what happens when I do that. This software lets me go, oh, turn that dial, does this, turn that dial, does that. This kind of amp, when people talk about running this amp, that's why. That's what they're after, that sound. And it makes sense. It makes sense to me. It makes it more relatable, I guess, than just listening to somebody else's YouTube video. So thank you very much for watching. This was Guitar at Home with Remy, discussing the Bias FX software, part 2. I am sure there will be a further video at some point, probably discussing Bias amp as well. I use this all the time. I'm sure there's going to be more. So take care all, have fun, keep playing.